Mm.
All right, the Lions win, and they get even more good news throughout and after the game because when we look at this, Craig, one of the things we were really needing to do was, of course, win. But it feels like these last few games, one of the great news I love getting out of this game is it feels like we didn't have any major injuries.
Oh,
Am I
is
missing
that even
something?
possible?
Yeah, did you see anything?
I did not see any major injuries, even to like guys like Brian Branch who came in, and I was like, all right, are they going to be all right? Aren't they? Just stuff like that. I still didn't see any major injuries. I didn't. You're right. Thank you.
So, yes, no major injuries. That's the first one. And then the second good news that came out of this was I'm going to kind of go through a couple of these and
Okay,
you
hit
give me
it.
your thoughts. But
Give me it.
Iffy Melifonwu, I thought, and this is just changed our defense. You can say what you want about this guy, but one of the things that we all kind of agree on, he's got some juice. Like he just does, and he's got
Yeah,
the body type where he can play safety,
there it
linebacker.
is.
You saw him down in the box,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like we need
Blitzen.
bodies. Yeah, we need
Mm-hmm.
blitzers. We need bodies. So to see him out there kind of took some pressure off of not only the secondary, but the linebackers. Great to see Iffy out there.
Yeah, great to see Iffy out there. We need that. And if he can be if he can be that guy who helps replace one of the linebackers, that could be massive for us. And
Yes.
and if he's playing in the secondary, it allows Joseph and Branch to be in even more places. I think we end up playing. I mean, I think we played 6 DBs a ton in this game.
Mm,
Unless you're counting Melifonwu as a linebacker, which he's not, right?
right.
And so, like, we're just looking at this, and I'm saying to myself, like, yeah, it is nice to have someone come back and get healthy.
Yeah.
It's nice. I wish it was more people along the defensive front, but like, we'll take it. We'll absolutely take that. By the way, I don't think the game plan on defense was any good for this game, and we still managed to hold them to 17 points. This
Unreal.
was like, this is like the recipe we used in the playoffs
Yep.
last year, which is just, all right, they're going to throw for a crap ton of yards, but they're not going to run. And we'll talk about some of that. But I got yeah, go for it. You keep telling me,
Well,
what are
that's
more good news that you got?
we can talk about that. Good news number 3 is we can win with this defense. Is what I kind of took away from this
Mhm.
is we have to be honest with ourselves that we're not just going to be this elite defense. I think for a minute there we were, and we can all see like now, yes, we were with Hutchinson, name all the guys in there. It's like we were an elite defense there for a few weeks. We're just not going to be that. It's fine, but we have to. Can we win with this defense? When you talk about like Pat O'Donnell or O'Connell out there, and start naming these names, but you hit it. Hey, we're gonna give up yardage, but man, we're gonna be sticky in the red zone, and we're not gonna let you really run on us. And
Mhm.
that's the formula.
That's the formula. And we can win with this defense. Do you want to know how I know we can win with this defense? We went 12-5 and made it to the NFC Championship last year with
Mm,
this defense.
mm.
Like, we need to remember that. I think that's important to remember, that this defense is what got us to this point. So, like, that even last year. And then when we look at it too, I'll even show the numbers, right?
Mhm.
Like, and I can share the screen here, right? They threw the ball over the place, right? But especially in the first half. In the second half, we put the clamps on more. But they didn't, if you look here, they didn't run the ball at all. 17 carries for 59 yards. So not only is it not a
Unbelievable.
ton of carries, but it's not a good yards per attempt.
Mhm.
DeAndre Swift, 9 carries for 20 yards against a front seven that's a no-name front seven. It's a hodgepodge. Like,
Yeah.
that's remarkable to me. And I mean, it's not like this Bears offense has been terrible the last couple months. They're bad in the first half usually, but they're actually an offense that's been putting up yards and points as of late. So and we were playing them at their house. I think this was impressive.
Super. You nailed it, and that's one of the other things I was going to talk about was so we hit on that. The other good news, especially with the defense, is Terrion Arnold is really, man, he's really good. Because he is a
Yeah.
rookie out there asked to be press man so
Yeah.
much. And so it's like I'm just so excited to have such a great corner on our team. Just a side note, thoughts on him?
Thoughts on him, and this is the best part about what he did, was the last defensive play that we had. The second to last.
Yes.
He's one-on-one with DJ Moore, and you know what he did? And I don't think I can remember him doing it yet this year. He turned around. He turned around on a ball that was in the air for a long time, and in that, he was able to make a great defensive play. He is still getting better. He got beat early, right? He got beat early and on a double move. Like, we understand that. That's what happens when you're playing press man the whole game. But for the most part, he allows this defense to do certain things and play certain ways because he's becoming that CB1 for us. I'm not saying he's the best CB1 in the league. Everybody relax, right? But man, oh man, I trust him. I think that's the difference. I don't know about you, but I trust him back there up against almost anybody.
And that's what you were just talking about, the defense last year. We know we can win with this defense because we did it last year with this model where we give up a lot of yards. We're going to clamp down the red zone. We're also going to not let you run the ball. However, the slight difference is the secondary is the corners are better. Last year, it was Cam Sutton and Vildor, right? I want to say that were our corners last year as we're making this run. So now we've got Terrion Arnold, Amik Robertson. You know, he gets kind of burnt on areas and he's a little slower at times. And there's some things, but the guy is in there and I'll take him every time over Vildor. So yes, to your point, Terrion Arnold looks back at the ball. He's getting better. He's a rookie. Like, he is a rookie. This is crazy. So I just think this defense, I think that's the biggest good news out of this is like, we can win games with this defense. And I honestly didn't know if we would be able to.
Yeah, I didn't know if we'd be able to. And I think, like, again, this is a Bears team that has lost, what, 8-9 in a row now? Something like that. But here's the other thing we have to remember. This is a Bears team that we split with last year.
Yes.
This is a Bears team that almost beat us on Thanksgiving, right? Which we didn't like that at all, right? But, like, all of these things, like, it's not like it's a Bears team that doesn't match up well with us. They do.
That's right.
So to have this convincing of a win, for the defense to play this much better this time around, where, all right, we got the lead, we gave up a couple touchdowns in the second quarter, and then we shut them out for the second half, just 3 points. I guess that's not technically a shutout, right? But it went really, really well. And so overall, I thought it was a good team win. There was also somebody who was absolutely dominant in this game too, though.
Oh, hold on. We'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah,
I've got two more good newses from this is
good newsies.
Offensively, man, cannot take this performance for granted. One of the indicators I look at is the 3 and outs. Now at the end of the game, the announcers said that there was a 3 and out, but I don't think it was. I don't think the Lions they might have had one, but the point is those stall 3 and outs are just killer. And then, then you can start, things don't go well when you have 3 and outs, but the Lions just kept the pressure on. Big plays, screens, draws, runs, everything was working. Jahmyr Gibbs fills in without a problem. In fact, he's got the juice that you've just like, okay, let's go. So offensively, I loved seeing that. And this kind of goes to my next point. My next one is like, offense played well outside, on the road, in the division. It's just, we can't take this for granted. How quickly we forget years and years of going on the road, especially to Chicago or Green Bay. And it's just like, is, we controlled the game from the beginning. Thoughts on all that?
Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs, you can't give him the ball 30 times. I understand that. At least not every single week. You can do it in the playoffs, maybe. I love David Montgomery. Can I just say that right now? I think he's a warrior. He's a glue guy for this team. He is the second best running back we've had in a Lions jersey in a decade, probably, or more. But Jahmyr Gibbs is the first. And what you saw in the beginning of this game was what this offense is with Gibbs. We've struggled running the ball inside this year a little bit as of late, I would say in the last month and a half. So I'm going to highlight 2 things. The first thing I'm going to highlight is how good Jahmyr Gibbs is. The dude is electric. Did you see him hit circle and hit that spin move in the backfield? Like there's things like that. Even the announcers like David Montgomery's great. He can't do that. But I'm going to highlight someone else that's good news for us, even if it's not for this year, but for next year. You notice Graham Glasgow is out.
Yeah.
Christian Mahogany
Mm-hmm.
has been good enough that he got over his mono or whatever it is that he had in the preseason, and he has gotten enough practice time and that he started an entire game for us and he didn't suck. He was good.
Unbelievable.
And it's just like, thank you so much. That is really great to see. Really great to see.
We needed that because it was like, man, with aging center, 2 guards, nobody behind them. It's like, oh, Skipper's coming in. You just like, love you so much, Skipper, but you're our backup guard or whatever, last year. Yes, that's a great point. But in Jahmyr Gibbs, and you saw Craig Reynolds come in, and Craig Reynolds got some good runs. It was blocked up well for him. But there was one where it's like, oh, man, get outside there. And it's like, no,
nothing.
No. And so what a just cheat code. I know that that's used a lot, but it's like, this just doesn't feel right. It feels like you went in, you edited a player to 99 speed in Madden. You're like, you know what? I'm going to put your break tackle up to 92, set 70, and you just and you're just like, and you're playing, man, and you're feeling a little guilty, but you're also like, man, that was fun. So that's what he feels like.
Yeah, and here's the thing: Jamar Jefferson is going to start getting more carries than Craig Reynolds, I believe, as we get more and more trust. I think he's just he looks better. He looks faster. He has a little more wiggle to him, and he just looks all around. He just looks a little better. I know Craig Reynolds is reliable, and we've seen him there. But it's